Oh, 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 oh. Hey, ho! Let's go! It's Friday. We made it. Another week gone. Oh, oh, oh. Hey, ho! Still kicking here. Thanks for popping by. Smoke and Pony Show. I'm Mike Rennie here. Great show dialed up today. I welcome on the voice of Finger Lakes, Tony Calo joins me. Cool interview with him. Gonna go over the Arlington Stakes race at Churchill Downs, which is moving to Ellis Park next week. Drama, drama. What a year. But hey, great show. Tons of racing. Belmont Stakes next week. Waterbury running next week, man. You know how we do it, man. Let's get after it. Hey, been a little sick last week. Good to be back. Had the bug. Usually don't get sick. Good to be feeling good. Ready to fire and get after it. Churchill Downs drama. They are moving to Ellis Park for the remainder of their meet for the spring and summer. News dropped today, Friday. Craziness. Who knows what happened there? That was related to the deaths, obviously, but who knows what exactly the surface problem was. Hopefully, they give us more info about that. But it's crazy. Churchill Downs is supposed to represent the heart of horse racing, not the best look, but we can get through this. Churchill Downs, get it together, fix that up, get the racing back there. But hey, we're on the Ellis Park for Churchill Downs. Craziness, I tell you that much. But it is what it is. At least they're going to be running. You know, hey, all I care about is Saratoga coming this summer, man. It's right around the corner. It's Saratoga time. Whatever, Churchill Downs. Saratoga time. Ready to get after that. But like I said, great show dialed up. Got Tony Calo, voice of Finger Lakes, that joins me. And I'm going to go over the Arlington Stakes race at Churchill Downs also. But I got someone at my door now for Mr. Who's that? Oh, here's someone at the door. We got Tony Calo, the voice of Finger Lakes here, joining me. Let's hop into that interview now. Another week of Mr. Ridney's neighborhood. Got a special guest with me, the voice of Finger Lakes, Tony. Tony Calo, how's it going, man?
It's going good, bro. How are you, man?
Doing great here. You know, just up in Portland, Oregon. We finally got some good weather. I know you got a little bit of West Coast ties to you, huh?
Yeah, I grew up in the Bay Area, a small town called Livermore, about 25 miles east of Oakland, 45 miles east of San Francisco. So the the Tri-Valley area.
Yep. Very familiar with that. Spent some time down in the Bay too. So appreciate you, Tony. Give me some of your time. Know you're busy. You guys are swinging. How is the opening of Finger Lakes been so far for you?
So far, pretty good. I was talking with my director of racing the other day. Handles up. We're doing pretty good. We'd like to get our field sizes up a little bit more. That's the only thing that's kind of the bummer. But we've got a new thing going this season. If you go to fingerlakesgaming.com and you click on racing, and then you can scroll down to digital programs, and we've got free programs for the entire season. They've got the past performances. They're the Equibase past performances. So that's pretty cool to offer that to the fans.
No, definitely love that. You know, when Portland Meadows was still, before it got destroyed, people, you had the guys that didn't want to just pay for the program. It was like, for whatever, you know, I'll spend extra, but some people just don't, you know, right. So it's, appreciate that. More info, the
better. The players love it. So good job, Finger Lakes, on
And
that.
we've got a new dollar pick six, which is kind of an old school. We got away
Love
from
that.
the jackpot, and that's been yielding some pretty good little payoffs. You can get basically a bunch of chalk with one horse paying $8-10, and you might pull in 1,500 2Gs. Not a bad bet.
No, I love the dollar so much. That the Nairo kind of went back to it too. With that, I love this eliminates some people. You just can't. If you don't have that budget, you can't spread. I'm sorry, as you know.
I know.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So, hey, let's just do a little quick backdrop here. So, as you said, you're from the Bay Area. How did you get into horse race calling? What was the first track you called at? Also,
well, the first track I ever called at was Vallejo, the Solano County Fair. I got to call the first and fifth races on closing day of 1994.
Sweet. That's good stuff there. Fair circuit.
I'm sorry, my buddy Paul Allen, the voice of the Minnesota Vikings, he nicknamed me Vallejo Calo.
I love that. That's good stuff there.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, that kind of just got you going, got the feel of that, and it obviously transpired to now. So what else? What led you from there? So you got the feel of it. You kind of liked doing it. So where did you pursue after that?
Well, my father really introduced me to racing when I was a very young kid. This is how sick I was. I'd go into the formal living room. We had a really nice Oriental rug, and I'd get my Matchbox cars and my Hot Wheels, and I would give every car a name. I had one double bubble, go get the money, and I'm talking when I'm 10, right? I'd race them around the Oriental rug. I'd chart them on paper. I'd move them up and down class, and then I got a little bored with that. I turned the inner portion of the Oriental rug into the turf course.
So great there. That's how you do it there. Hey, no way to get you all dialed in like that, huh? I bet you pops
was when I was really young. And so 92, I wrote a letter, and Michael Rona took me under his wing.
Okay.
And between Michael and Paul Allen, that's what got me going. And by 94, I got my first call at Vallejo. Thanks to OK Ingram, old school. Right on, brother. Always love you for giving me that opportunity. And then a year later, I got the San Mateo County Fair at Bay Meadows, and I turned that into a publicity assistant, and I worked in publicity and marketing at Golden Gate and group sales, all those positions, and just kept going at it. Arapahoe in 97 and 98, Bay Meadows in 98, Golden Gate in 99, and then after 2005, they kicked me to the curb in the Bay Area, which it happens from time to time, I guess, And Luke Kreipos helped me out a lot, helping me get Arapahoe, and then he let me fill in for him at Turf Paradise and helped me get some gigs in New Mexico. And then in 2008, I got Finger Lakes. So needed a job, and ventured all the way, packed up the Forerunner, and came to Western New York, not knowing one person in 2008.
I love that. That's kind of my style too. When I moved off, I always kind of went on my own. You got to take those chances. see what's out there,
Yeah.
doing what you love. You know, found it. You know, you like doing it, and you wanted to stay with it, right?
Big lone wolf here, brother.
Heck
You know
yeah.
how it is. Yeah. You know, I wasn't ready to give up on my career in 08, and then this job came about, and you know, it's worked out pretty good for me. Unfortunately, the pandemic has slowed us down. We've lost trainers. The full population is diminished. We're only running a few days a week, but I'm still holding out belief that it's not over yet for me.
No, you're doing a great job, and obviously it's not just finger legs with that problem as you follow the game too. You know, foals are down tremendously and stuff, and you know, COVID, I think, like you said, might have kind of made people choose different directions. Maybe the smaller time trainers and stuff like that. You know, it's kind of a lot. It seems like one groups get a lot of the horses nowadays. Seems like, you know.
I know the era of the super trainer. You know, it just is what it is. It's hard. I really commend the little guy for still keeping his passion. You know, all the costs are just astronomical, and you got to give him a lot of credit. Without the little trainers, a lot of the industry would be in a lot of trouble, in my opinion. So
no, definitely. Like I've interviewed Mr. Duggan, David Duggan. You know, the time at his level, I'm a huge fan of him, though. You know, like you said, those guys, you know, battling around against the big guys. You know, it's tough for them.
Yeah, very much so.
Definitely. So, what else we got going? What's your favorite race of the meet to call at Finger Lakes?
Well, I would have to say it's probably the New York Derby. I get excited for that one. We've got the New York Derby for the 3-year-olds, and at the end of the year we have the New York Breeders' Futurity for the 2-year-olds. That kind of concludes our big stakes race of the season. So those two races stand out by far, no question about it.
Definitely. And since you've been at Finger Lakes, what's the favorite horse you've called?
You know, that's probably a tough one. My first year I got lucky. There was a very nice horse named Tin Cup Chalice.
Okay.
He ended up sweeping the New York Triple, you know, and I think he still might be the only horse that ever did it. They eventually got rid of that those 3 races. It was like the Mike Lee, the New York Derby, and then the Albany. And I had heard when I got into town in 08 that Tin Cup was like the best 2-year-old. And then he had a great 3-year-old. He won the Indiana Derby at Hoosier. And he got an invitation in the Japan Cup later that year as a 3-year-old. And unfortunately for Tin Cup, he had a training accident on opening weekend of 2009, and he unfortunately had to be put down after that training accident. Another horse ran into him. It was so sad.
So random.
So him and probably Lisa's Booby Trap. A lot of people might know Lisa's Booby Trap. She kind of emerged a really big, strong, good-looking filly. Didn't Snyder? I can't remember his first name. He didn't pay a lot for her. She ended up winning at Saratoga. Those 2 horses kind of stand out a little bit to me.
Awesome.
As far as the Finger Lakes, you know,
the Finger Lakes,
Lost in the Fog will always go down as probably my favorite that I ever called in the Bay Area.
Yeah, the Bay time. And then we were talking a little bit. Let's transition. We were talking a little Belmont. It's right around the corner here. We both like to fire a little bit. Who are you leaning here for your Belmont pick here? Who we got for Tony?
Well, I'm going right back with my Derby selection, Angel of Empire. You know, as we spoke before we came on, I thought he got kind of a little tougher trip in the Derby. Mage kind of had a little better position on him. Pratt had to kind of slow down the momentum and kind of tip out. And if you really watch the replay, he's getting there at the wire. And I thought his Arkansas Derby was incredible. And with a lesser field, obviously, in the Belmont, 10 or 11 horses compared to the 19, 18, whatever it was in the Derby this year, he'll be able to utilize that big stride like he did in the Arkansas Derby. He has the ability to sustain his run for quite some time. I'm coming right back with him, and I saw DeRosa's fair odds were like 9-2. I mean, get me locked in right now with a British bookmaker at that price.
I like it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm still on the fence there. I might be leaning there with you, though. I definitely think it'll be a new face for sure when in the Belmont. I think it'll be I don't see any horse running back. Forteo is going to be tough, but I'm a little skeptical on Forteo right now because a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. We're talking about Forte. It's like I remember AP Indy scratched before the Kentucky Derby, but I think he won the Peter Pan then to the Belmont. So for Forte to try to win the Belmont with not a race since the Florida Derby, that's going to have to be pretty tough, I would think. But well, it's shaping up to be one heck of a race. You know, you've got Tapit Tricer saying Archangelo, maybe even National Treasure. Now I heard Arabian Lion. I mean, this race is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. I like the field size. Definitely look pretty solid too from that. So it's going to be, like you said, real competitive. And like you said, who knows, that backstretch of Belmont Stakes, man, that's the longest backstretch. I swear it's like they're running in a whole other country till they come around that final turn, huh?
Unbelievable. I mean, Big Sandy. I went to the Belmont back in, what year was that? Maybe 94, go. And Irish bred had come in, and he won the Belmont. That was the only time I've ever been at the Belmont Stakes. And this year, it's pretty cool. The legend, Tom Durkin, coming out of retirement to call. You know, Fox has the rights, and that's going to be pretty cool to hear Tom calling the Belmont Stakes.
That will be cool. I'm trying to think of the last time he called a race. I don't know the year off top of my head. It's been some time since we've heard him on the mic. That's for sure. Will be cool.
Right.
Well, hey, Tony, I appreciate you giving me some of your time. Let's keep that Finger Lakes meet running in full swing here. We got Tony Calo. Thanks for joining me again. Catch him at Finger Lakes. All the dollar jackpots back. Free PPs on the website. Get those also. Thanks again, Tony, for coming on.
You got it, brother. Thanks for having me.
All right, peace.
And I'm back. Thanks, Mr. Tony Calo, voice of Finger Lakes, for coming on the show. Good stuff there, chopping up here in his background. Love hearing that. Let's hop right into this. We got the smoke formulated breakdown of the Arlington Stakes race. I think it's going to be a chance here to pull the PP to beat the favorite. I think we can get them. So here it is. We got Churchill Downs, race 9, mile and 16th on the turf. We got a horse I've been on for years. People know the old 6-year-old here. Get smoking with the speed from the inside. Likes the distance. 3 times at this distance. Has been in the money all 3 times. 2 seconds and a first. So we'll come back to that horse. Get smoking. Kentucky Ghost here needs a pace to run at. Just don't think it's going to get the setup. Has 11 tries. 7 times in the money. So, doesn't mind the distance. Has some class issues to me, though. Then here we go. Classic Causeway. Oh, boy. This horse, to me, just I'm not a fan of it on the turf. Has 1 win and 5 tries on the turf. Classic Causeway here. Gonna have speed. Gonna go with the 1. Get smoking. The pace breakdown I have is the 1, 3, and the 5 being close. But we're tossing out Classic Causeway. But you never know. It's a tough horse here. A couple people I know definitely like it. Mr. McPete and Hernandez Jr. But as you can see, gonna go, but has never ran this distance. So, and it only has 1 win on the turf. No, thank you, 3. Then you got Saez and Maker, tough combo here, going up in class here with the 4 horse. Will be a little closer to the lead than I think shows on paper. Has 6 tries at this distance, 1 second place, 2 thirds, 0 wins. But it's definitely a turf horse, 23 tries. Only 3 wins out of 23 tries on the turf, though. So we're to pass on the 4 also, but think the 4 could be in the money. 5 here. I don't know what they're going to do with the 5. Might just try to gun it. Has never ran this distance. Has showed speed in the past. I don't know. Horse needs a luck in the box. Either gun it or just try to make 1 run coming home. We're tossing the 5. And here's my 6 horse here. We got Mr. Graham Motion here coming off. Second off the layoff after a win here. They could go back to back because we're going to try to beat this favorite here. Set piece. Set piece needs the pace. Mr. Brad Cox here. Really talented horse, but we're going to try to beat him. I think he needs 1 more race off the layoff here. So as you can see, deep closer. The closers I have are the 7 and the 2. It is deep closer here, but we're going to try to beat this horse. My A, B, and C is the 6, 1, and the 4. But we're going to go with the 1 on top. Get smoking. Let's go. Smoke it up. Hey-o. Get this horse home here for the win. I don't think there's going to be as much pace as it looks like on the paper, and the 1 has had does the best at this distance. So we're going to play the 1 here to win it. Get smoking. And I'm going to box it with the 1 and the 6 also for an exact, like the 6 to be there. And then we're going to toss out here the 7th, maybe the 7 here, set piece. Mr. Bradcock will come up for 3rd or 4th place. So there's the A, B, and C I got here. 6, 1, and 4. But we're going with the B horse on top, the 1 for the Arlington Stakes race at Churchill, which is moving to Ellis Park. Hey, thanks for popping by. Another week of the Smoking Ponies Showdown. Thanks for everyone for giving me your time. It's always fun to do this. We got the Arlington Stakes race. Get smoking. Let's get that home. Everyone, let's get those tickets cash. Trainers, owners, jockeys have safe trips, and let's get it. Smoke, smoke.